skipped a point here. I'm sorry. I'll pick this data store because I know it's a NFS data store. You can see here if I literally select the data store, I can do deduplication management of my data store. I can resize it. I can destroy it. So resize, again, if it's NAS, this is NAS only, I can shrink or grow. If it's iSCSI or Fiber Channel, I can only grow. Okay, so here's where I have to enter in a value, and you do have to type this in, but you can see you can enter your value and dynamically on the fly. Just go ahead and update the entire. Update the size of that data store for the entire data center or cluster. So that's running. You can see here it's already updated to 30 gigabytes. Again, I can also do things like deduplication management and reporting. You can see here we don't have dedupe enabled. I can enable it, and we can start running. This data store is empty, so it's not going to show us anything, so I'll skip that for this point in time. The last thing I want to show and back up a little bit is we can actually, besides managing the storage objects, is now manage logical objects, because virtual machines are files now. In other words, you know, we've lost that physical construct, or that world is a separate construct. The CPU, memory, storage networking, disk, that's a physical infrastructure that we have to manage and monitor, but we want to be able to manage sub-objects inside of that in a dynamic fashion. So we can also select a template or a running virtual machine, and we can actually create clones of these objects. And now these clones can be desktops. This is actually an XP image. I can grab a server image as well. They can be desktops, they can be servers, but the bottom line is that they are permanent, high-performing virtual systems that are already pre-deduplicated. So it's pre-deduplication in terms of zero-cost provisioning. And so I can pick what object I want to distribute the systems that I'm going to clone across if I'm doing more than one, and I'm going to in this case. So I'm going to pick the entire data center, and the cloning will actually load balance these clones across the data center. I'll pick a number that won't take too much time. I'll say 20 virtual machines, and I'll call them demo VM1, and we'll increment them. I can apply customization and register any customization that's registered in Virtual Center. I can power them on if need to. I can actually connect them into a connection broker, and today we support VMware View and Citrix Zen Desktop to bring those into a desktop management pool, and I can also spread them across data stores if I'd like to. So I will go ahead and do this. I have to create a data store. I'm just going to go ahead and make it. I'm just going to let the system take default here because we're rolling short on time. Where do I want to store the virtual machines? NetApp1 is fine. And I'm just going to let it fire off and create us some virtual machines. So this won't take too long for us to go. And what I want to do as soon as this is done is show you that the dedupe savings on the data store once we've got these fired off. So any questions while we're watching water boil here? What I'm hoping is that my goal of demonstrating for the audience that the management tools have matured exponentially beyond what we've had in the past with command line and file review. I hope everyone is somewhat satisfied with what we've done here. Again, if there's additional functionality that we can demonstrate at a future WebEx event, etc., please send us your suggestions. We'd be more than happy to demonstrate that for you. I know YouTube is a nice vehicle to get content out, but sometimes people would like to do a little bit more, and see a little more details, etc. So it looks like our phones are starting to populate here.
Hey, Vaughn, one thing, this is Calvin, that I'd mentioned, you talked about the V-Series, and one thing that the folks that attended our tech day heard about was the HP SAN Virtualization Services platform.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, those two products compete against each other in the market. They do similar things in virtualizing a SAN. The way we do it and the way you do it is very different. So I think the point would be, for customers that have a mixed environment, we on the HP side would say they should very much look at MCSP as well, especially if VVAs are in their environment.
Right. So that we're clear on the phone is Calvin and I are in a unique position, which is we've got tons of joint customers and we've got tons of customers that aren't. And so at times we need to compete against each other very vigorously, and very, very aggressively to win customer business. But then we also have a number of customers that say, hey, you two, I don't need you to compete with each other. I need you two to solve my problem and solve it together. And again, I'm honored with the number of folks that are on the call to check this out. But again, Calvin, thank you so much for joining. And we're going to have that relationship kind of like the old Looney Tunes episodes of the wolf and the sheepdog, right? We're going to be able to have beers off hours and on hours. We've got to go at it. But
well,
our goal.
Next time, make sure you come hang out at the storage suite up at VMworld so we can have those beers together.
Absolutely.
I was able to give Alex a hug, but I never gave you your hug, so.
Next time.
Yeah, there you go.
So there we are. We've deployed those systems. They're up and running. And the last thing I was going to show, just so that everybody knows I'm not leaving anybody on here, is I think I did it on this volume. Let's actually show deduplication savings. There's our physical aggregate. There's our volume, 94% dedupe. So we provision those additional 19 systems without taking up any additional storage except for what's unique to each one. So I believe I'm 3 minutes over. I want to thank everyone for attending. We'll leave the call open for a couple minutes if anyone wanted to go into Q&A.